Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Max Steingart, and we're broadcasting live today. So earlier today, I got a message from Denny, who was asking me a very often asked questions, just a short one. Some MLM leaders are saying that you should establish relationships first for about 3 to 6 months on social media before presenting the opportunity. Do you agree? If not, why? Thanks. Relationships to prospects, okay? And you have to establish relationships with someone for 3 to 6 months before you present the opportunity. Do I agree? Hell no. No, I don't agree. The MLM Leader Is Given that advice must have missed the boat. I'm sure I'm sure they're not among the top earners in network marketing who are killing it on Facebook and LinkedIn. Think about this, okay? Are they also suggesting that when you meet someone for the first time at a Chamber of Commerce event, a party, or at the gym, okay, you should wait 3 to 6 months before presenting the opportunity? Is that what they're suggesting? It's the same thing. Only when you meet someone on a social network, you know more about them. Relationships with complete strangers are created instantly, with the acceptance of a friend request or a like or a share. You know more about someone from what you see on someone's Facebook page than the people who have lived across the street from them for the past 10 years but aren't on Facebook. You know if you share the same values and interests. You know who your mutual friends are. You know their education and work history. You know their birthday. I mean, there are so many opportunities for you to get to know someone instantly on a social network. And of course, it goes vice versa. They also get to know more about you. So nobody is a stranger when you start looking at what's on people's profiles. Now, one of the things I love about these trainings is that they're live. They're completely interactive. And I want to point out to you while we're here, for those of you that haven't been on LinkedIn, the Facebook features that they've added. Think about this. There's 433 million professionals available for you to talk to. Now, while you're building up your list, every day they're going to give you ways to keep in touch with people. So she has a work anniversary. Now, you could like it. You could send her a direct message. You could skip it. You could talk to someone else. 6 hours ago, Johan here liked something. There's no shortage of ways for you to talk to people. And now, the thing up here, do you notice the number 4? These are messages. These are messages. We go over here. This is how easy it is to, to talk to people. So, let me come over here. We're going to have a little fun. Gail, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Max. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you fine. So, before we jump into this, let's go back and look at what Denny had wanted to know about. What do you think about that advice about, being on a social network for 3 to 6 months before you talk about your business? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I kind of had to laugh at that one. No, you don't need to be in conversation or in a relationship with somebody for 3 to 6 months before visiting with them about your business.
Yeah, it's too...
You've shown us a much faster way, Max.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, so who are we looking at here?
If you want to spell down, all of these conversations, but Mark, and I'm just not sure if Mark is, nope, one more down, the other.
This one here?
Mark.
Oh, the other one, Mark.
Yep, that one there. I'm just not sure if this is worth continuing to pursue.
Uh-huh. Well, your little voice tells you that. So
okay.
What he's doing is, the answer is no. You've made a connection with somebody that's in a company. He's telling you he's literally giving you all the information. You're letting him know what you did, and now he's giving you his story. Last few years I've been doing real estate, and restarted again with creative real estate. Okay. Now, Now, when you're talking to somebody like this, for the last few years I've been doing real estate. Okay, and real estate's been, and he promotes this, okay, this company. So this company, he's giving you the commercial for his business, okay? So all you would do here, and he's clearly, I think we know how long he's been with them. Let's see here. Well, the only thing here, he's telling you what he does. The only other question you would ask is, well, how long have you been with him? And then, you know, you kind of treat everybody the same. All right. In other words, what do you do? All right. What company are you with? He's telling you, and you're telling him you're with, you know, your company. What did you do prior to getting into it? He's coming back and he's telling you real estate. He promotes this. He's telling you all about the company. So in your traditional process, okay, you'd come back and you'd say, oh, this is really interesting. So how long have you been involved with this company? How long has he been doing it? Now, we might get that information if you look on his page, because sometimes they list a date. And let's see. Okay, so he's been doing this for 4 years and 7 months. So he's been at it a long time. And right now he's telling you he's happy. So asking him how long he's been doing it is, you know, you're basically continuing the conversation, but he doesn't ask you a question. So you're under no obligation to respond. What I would do is I just leave this one alone. And in the future, you know, you'll bump into him, but right now this guy's happy, and this is typically what network marketers do on these sites. There's no emphasis on creating a relationship. They just, hey, this is what I do. Watch this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Now that company could be great. Company could be great. But if this is his approach, if this is the way he's looking to build his business, he's going to fail miserably. Doesn't work. So, you know, for that reason, you know, you might keep in touch with him because he could be with a great company, but he crashes and burns. Maybe he'd be interested in looking at something else, but let him come to you because you got other people to talk to. So who else we have?
Okay, perfect. Down to Gerald. I think he's done a couple of conversations.
Okay, Gerald.
Yep.
Okay, so he's starting Monday. Okay. Okay. All right. So he's starting on Monday, and we're gonna probably get him to respond. So he says, I took a position for an on-site medical rep for Amazon. Okay. So what does that mean? What does that mean? This would be a good time. Starting Monday. Okay. What will you be doing for them? Okay. Okay. So but we just don't want to ask the question. Amazon is a big company. Operation. What will you be doing for them? We're trying to have a.
Matt, so when he comes back with a short answer like that, then you just continue to try to mimic. I mean, kind of try to stay short with him as well, correct?
Well, pretty much. You know, pretty much. You know what you want to do. Right, you're matching the tempo. So
okay,
you're matching the tempo, and sometimes for those of you that really like to talk a lot or type a lot, it's really a good exercise because you know the truth is, if you type too much, you're talking too much. It's all about the other person, but you have to have a conversation. We used the example yesterday with Larry, where he just kept pushing, just question after question after question, and that can be annoying to people. And when you clearly step over the line and just say something that is just totally out of left field, they go, you know, I don't think I want to talk to this person, and they block you and they shut you out. And there's no reason for that. Who else we have?
We can go back up a little ways here. Either any of the first three there, right there.
Okay, well, let's do all three. Let's do all three. So much for relationships and how long it takes. Okay, so what does your work entail? I'm in the recruitment and staffing business. Okay, working for the company Kelly Services. It suits me perfectly. Tell me about your internet business. How did you start with it? You know, after you do these a couple of times, you start asking yourself, do you notice the repetition? Do you notice?
I do.
Okay. See, now you're beginning to get, once you notice the repetition, and you just continue the process, you know, it just works, you know, amazingly well. So, all right, so we want to tell me about your internet business. How did you start with it? Well, we have our little story, but let's look at, I'm in the recruitment and staffing, working for Kelly Services. It's all about networking and good customer service. Okay, so let's take a look, because sometimes we want to remind ourselves, who are we talking to? So, okay, so he's been working for these people for, let's see, he's been working with these people for 3 months. Before that, he worked for, it looks like he worked for other recruiting companies. Okay? So that's his background. So he's just been with Kelly for 3 months. So we want to make a, follow this, okay? He's worked for Kelly. He's been in the recruiting business. We're going to give another example of a conversation, same situation. He's in the recruiting business. He's been networking. So we want to respond. Recruiting and staffing is an interesting business. Now, the thing is, you're kind of in the recruiting business yourself. Okay? But we don't have to say that. I'm very familiar with the concept. Again, we're having a conversation. And wants to know about you. When somebody asks you what you do, what do you say?
I give them the story of after 15 years in the banking industry, I left due to my growing internet business.
Yeah, after 15. As for me, so as for me, again, after 15 years in the banking industry, I've been able to retire thanks to my growing okay, so we're now the nice thing is you have an opportunity to think about it.
Right.
Now he's asking, tell me about your internet business. Okay, so we're going to tell him a little bit. We're going to say, thanks to my growing internet business, I'm working. It's in the health and wellness industry. Now, he's asking you about it. We want to know how long been recruiting. So we could say here, recruiting and staffing is an interesting and exciting business. I'm sure you meet some great people. familiar with the concept, because I do recruiting myself. LOL. Okay. You have it. What you want to do is let your personality personality come out. Okay.
Okay.
See what we're doing? As for now, it's in the health and wellness industry. We're not going to ask him, well, what do you know about network marketing? How long have you been recruiting? We want to find out about him. We're leaving him little things to nibble on. Now, the longer he has been in recruiting, when he comes back and answers this question, it's going to tell you whether or not he knows anything about network marketing. Because the longer he's been a recruiter, the longer he's been a target for other network marketers. And so rather than jamming his business down your throat, or your business down his throat, we're just going to let the conversation flow out. Doesn't take any longer time. And he very well could be, if he's, he just started with this thing. The other question would be, if you look here, I noticed he just started, so he did this for 3 years and 5 months. Now he just started this 3 months ago. The question might be, I'm just curious, why did you leave Manpower? See, one of the reasons that people have always struggled with LinkedIn is because you have so much information about the other person. You go, well, where do I start? Well, you have to read their profile. At some point in time, that you go beyond them just being a name under a profession. You look here and you study, what they've done. What prompted them to go from this to this? What prompted them to go from this to this? And of course, since it's in a different language, he speaks English, but his page is in, I think, Norwegian. So what we have to do is we have to use Google Translate to translate it, and that's not much of a big deal. And so you are on your way. You're on your way to having to building an international business. And so you're not going to have to wait 3 months to 6 months before you talk to him about it. You'll talk to him about it if he's got a need or an interest. So who else we have to look at?
Yeah, the next gentleman there.
This one?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so, don't you love it? Now remember, now folks, for those of you that are watching, look what we did here. Gail reaches out to this guy, and she liked his post, so she shared it. Okay, and she says, what do you do? She says, I'm the fastest growing service company in Norway and soon Sweden. Okay, and so it's exciting to be working with the fastest growing company. What facility service, what do you do? You want to know what they do? Well, canteen services, cleaning service, maintenance, and gardening. What do you do? What's your passion? And this is your basic answer. So I was in the banking industry 15 years, enjoyed helping people get money from the bank. Thanks to my growing internet business, while I retired from banking, I still like helping people. Thanks to my growing internet business. I guess we need. I thought we did a better job than that. So we're basically saying, hey, I retired from banking, but I still like helping people. So so we bring the conversation back to him. What prompted you to start your business? Well, how bad cleaning industry is, so I wanted to supply power. Since then, we're just expanding. So how do you help people? Now, you always want to be thinking about what you're going to say to him next. And we always want to be as complimentary as possible. So we want to pay him a compliment. I have to say, I really enjoy talking to entrepreneurial people. I really have to say I enjoy talking to the entrepreneurial people I've met on here. Okay. Who knew? Fun talking to people around the world. Now I'll do a little LOL. Okay. So now I want to know how exactly do you help people? Okay. So hey, I'm working, then expanding international company in the health and wellness. Okay, now he wants to know exactly what it is. We're not going to tell him the name of your company. What we're going to say is, what experience? Okay, now, the question would be, what experience have you had with network marketing? That's the question, but we're going to add something. We're going to come back in here, we're going to add our little transition line. And we're going to say, many people today, myself included, have turned to the internet to make full-time and part-time income. Again, let's come back. You okay with this?
Yes, I am.
Now this is what you. I mean, we're doing a little Vulcan mind melt here, but I mean, you would say this, wouldn't you? Isn't this what you would normally say?
The first two I would have. I'm not sure. I guess I'm not sure that I would have went right to the network marketing experience question.
Okay.
So this is good to know. It's good to see this.
Well, okay, you're right, because you see, he wants to know exactly how you help people. Okay.
Mhm.
So rather than getting into a whole long thing about it, have him look at your website. See, the biggest mistake people make is we're in such a hurry to send somebody to my website, send somebody to watch the movie. And you do it too soon. Okay, listen, I'd be happy to send, I'd be happy to, tell you, about my business. I'd be happy to give you a website. I'm just curious. Why would you be interested in it? And if they come back and say, hey, and they don't have to, hey, I'm curious. That's okay. Here's the link. I just want to know. I just like to know. What experience you've had with network marketing before you see it. Well, and there's no reason. I mean, I'm saying, So, like you saw yesterday, when somebody wanted to meet, and they're on the, let's get to the phone. Let's talk on the phone. Let's meet, and you don't want to meet right away. So what do? You agree to the concept of meeting, and you ask another question until you get enough answers to know that it might be worth the meeting, or on the other hand, it might be a total waste of time, because a meeting is going to eat up 3 hours of your day. Does that make sense?
Correct. Yes.
So okay, so we're gonna pop this over. Now that's all that's all we have time for, but folks. So Gail, thanks again for participating in this, and it's going to be fun to watch you identify these people, and Again, in closing.
Thank you, Max.
Well, thank you. And so, again, in closing, what would you say to this? What would you say about these leaders? What would you say about this advice?
That is not true. You need to join Max. Max will teach you a new way.
Right. Well, for sure, and for sure, folks, it's not true. And thanks again for that, Gail.